Hey, it's Marilla Manelli, and today I'm going to show you how to do this Cowgirl Copper look using all Kenra Color. Now let's go ahead and get started. So what are we doing today?
I think I want to do the Cowgirl Copper thing that I've been seeing everywhere. Like, I really like copper tones in my hair. I feel like it complements my skin, but I don't want it one color, like maybe some, I don't know, highlights or something. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that, the Cowgirl Copper trend is really hot right now, and I do agree. I think it'll look great with your skin tone, your eye color. Got those natural freckles kind of going on, so I think it'll look great on you. And I do agree, adding a little bit of highlights just for more dimension, if anything, instead of like blonde highlights.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't want it one color. Like,
Okay,
I don't,
cool.
And my highlights are so grown out, it looks just kind of dull and boring. I don't want that.
Yeah, it'll kind of give you those little bits of highs and lows of that copper tone. Do you have any inspiration photos?
I'm not really specific, but just something like this, like something in the Cowgirl Copper world. I trust your professional judgment, like whatever you think is going to look best, but somewhere in that world.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, what I would probably suggest, because I actually like the depth of your hair, I just kind of want to add a little bit of more vibrancy.
Okay,
Nothing too much, because the whole Cowgirl Copper trend is kind of like a muted copper.
Yeah.
And if we added in some highlights, maybe some face frame halo highlights.
For sure. Yeah, I love it. I have those face frame highlights.
Awesome. Yeah, that way you have some dimension kind of coming in through here, maybe just a few highlights on top.
Yeah.
And then we can go in with that copper toner right on top. It'll just give you that really beautiful dimension. And we'll keep you not too much brighter or darker. We'll just keep you right around where you're at.
Okay, cool.
With dimension.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Okay.
So I'm starting out by pre-sectioning her with her natural part and then just doing a really soft zigzag line for this front hairline and then also in the back nape area, keeping it more of like that V section right in the back. For this project, I'm using no ammonia lightener at a 1:2 mixing ratio with 20 volume developer. And if you already loved no ammonia, you're gonna really love this brand new formula because it's formulated with its dual bond technology, giving you further protection while you're lifting, and you're gonna get one extra level of lift. I'm gonna start in the back section, and since we have this really soft zigzag section here, I'm gonna take this entire piece and I'm gonna weave it with my weaving comb. And this is just gonna give me a lot of rooted dimension in addition to my board with its teeth. So I'm gonna start out by applying my lightener right in this mid zone, making sure I have full saturation. And then I'm going to stroke the lightener up, creating that dark into light reflection. Something to keep in mind with Cowgirl Copper is that it is really versatile. So you want to keep in mind your client's desired end result when it comes to the dimension. So what we're doing for her is adding in those halo highlights, but keep in mind you can really customize it with just subtle highlights or a lot of highlights and still achieve a really gorgeous Cowgirl Copper shade. The reason why I like this technique is that it's gonna give a lived-in look, making for really easy grow out. So she's just gonna be coming back about every 8 weeks for a gloss toner to maintain this look. And she can really start to change the tone over time or keep this Cowgirl Copper look that we're creating. Now that I got her hairline on the bottom completely done, I'm going to move right on up, but something to keep in mind is your client's density, and I wanna make sure there's enough background here. So in order to achieve that, I'm going to take this entire section here and I'm going to go right on her parietal ridge, creating a V section, still using that really soft zigzag section. So overall, creating lots of background and depth in the interior. This is also a perfect highlight placement for somebody that just wants some hairline highlights and a partial highlight. So for this back section, I have her split right down the center. So this is pretty wide, and all I'm gonna do is take a very shallow zigzag section here. So it's zigzagged on both sides. And then on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and weave it with this comb, giving me that illusion of a baby light. And something that I like to do in this interior here is I want to make sure that the lightness and brightness is more focused towards the face and a little bit deeper in the interior. So I'm going to push up the lightener a little higher on the right side, creating that inverted V. Now for this top section here, I'm gonna go in with some horizontal sections. And I'm still going to use those zigzag partings. The zigzag partings just keeps everything really soft, which is exactly what I want to achieve, especially because she is naturally curly. So this look is actually going to look great if she wears her hair straight or with her natural texture. And for these top sections, I'm just going to take it evenly all the way up. Still making sure it's a little rooted. Now, one of the reasons why I love the No Ammonia lightener is because it's been reformulated. So if you're a No Ammonia lightener lover, you're really gonna love this new formula, because not only is it still ammonia free, it's also fragrance free, and you're gonna get an extra level of lift with this formula and get that dual bond technology built in. So we have that extra hair protection built into this lightener. The overall goal with this top section is to make sure that it's just a very soft, subtle BB light throughout. I really want those halo highlights on the exterior to pop, and that's why they're a little bit more chunkier than what's going on the top and the interior. Another thing that I love about No Ammonia, and really all of the lighteners in the Kenra collection, is you can choose the type of viscosity that you're looking for with your mixing ratio. So if you're wanting something a little thicker with that 1:1, I personally love 1:2 mixing ratio, and you can even do 1:3. But no matter what your desired mixing ratio is, you're still gonna get up to 8 levels of lift. So now I'm on my very last foil for this top section. So I have a total of 4 foils for the top section. I really do like how you can't smell this lightener. So if you have a client that's really sensitive to smells, or maybe you're a stylist that's sensitive to smells yourself, you're really gonna love how this has absolutely no fragrance. So now I'm in the front section here, and even though we have our natural part going on, her hairline is pretty even. So I'm just gonna go ahead and separate this, and I'm gonna work on these 2 side sections. So I wanna mimic what we did on this underside here. So it's gonna be a little bit more chunkier. We're gonna take this entire section and weave it. And because this is the front hairline, I'm taking my lightener a little higher up, and I'm not too worried about these little baby hairs that have a little bit of lightener on it. It actually comes out just fine. Plus we are gonna be doing a little bit of a color melt, so I wouldn't get too hung up on the lightener kind of floating on these. And a lot of times you just kind of like wipe that right on off. The most important thing to know when you are working with large sections like this is to make sure you're really saturating, and I do this by opening up the hair inside of the foil. Just pushing that brush back and forth. Now that I have the 2 sides done, I'm gonna move right onto this top part. And we're just gonna add a couple foils here. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the board. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a slice here. And still using my comb for that highlight. And I'm gonna use that same technique of applying my lightener just an inch or 2 down and then stroking it up. I like using this technique because it has a softer line of demarcation instead of creating that hard line of painting it downwards. So I like stroking my brush right on up into that root area. And I'm gonna trifold so the foil just kind of stays out of her face. I'm just gonna add one more little foil right here. Now that I'm done applying her foils, I'm gonna let her process for about 30 minutes. We'll check them. You do have up to 45 minutes of processing time with No Ammonia, and then we'll get ready to do her final color melt. So it's been about 30 minutes and she has lifted to a really even shade. This is exactly what we were looking for, about a level 7, 8. And we definitely got more of like that 8, and this is perfect for the canvas that we're trying to achieve for that Cowgirl Copper. So I'm just waiting for her front foils to finish processing, but since these ones are already done back here, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull them out. And the main reason for that is because we want this to go ahead and stop processing, and I want that lightener to just dry out. So the best thing to do is just take a towel and remove all that lightener and just let it stop processing. Because as long as the lightener is not hydrated, it's not going to continue to lift. So you can see we have a gorgeous blend going on, and you can also see we have that pop of blonde on that halo section, but we also have that subtle dimension that we're creating on the very top. So I'm really excited to get her final color gloss put on. For her final toner, I'm going to use Kenra Color Demi-Permanent. 3/4 of my formula will be 6BC and 1/4 of 6C, 1:2 with 9 volume developer. I processed her for 10 minutes, shampooed it out, and then overlaid muted copper in Kenra Creatives. I love using Kenra Creatives as an overlay on top of my demi-permanent because it's not only going to seal in the color, but add to the vibrancy that we're trying to achieve. Now that our color is all done, I'm going to be using Kenra Platinum Blow Dry Spray. And this is an argan oil that's going to help speed up the blow dry time. Next, I'm going to be layering in the thickening mousse. This is going to plump out each hair strand and give us a medium to firmer hold, so that way we can maintain the shape, since she does have a little bit of texture, and it's going to aid in that blowout we're going to give her. And now I'm going to rough dry it. Now that she's 75% dry, I'm going to go in with a boar bristle round brush to create lots of volume and smoothness. Now that she's all blow dried, I'm going to be using the Color Maintenance Thermal Spray. So this is going to give me some thermal protection, so that way we can protect her hair color that we just did, and it's going to provide me with just a little bit of hold for the curls that we're going to put in. So what do you think?
I love it. It looks so good.
It looks really natural on you.
It does, yeah.
I think it brings out your eye color.
Completely, and like the freckles too, the whole thing. I feel like it looks so good.
We nailed that Cowgirl Copper.
Completely. It's better than the Cowgirl Copper inspo that I brought in here.
So I really hope you enjoyed this hair tutorial, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, and be sure to check out my other hair tutorials right here on this channel, and I will see you in the next video.